He's like, let's vacuum at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, cool. Love that.
Why?
I don't know. I guess he wanted to do it before his parents got home. I guess he thought they were already home by now.
Even then, I guess I can do it.
So then we did laundry. We vacuumed. We cleaned up the room. And by the time all of that was done, it was 5:30. And then I woke up at like 10:30 or 11. Big sparkle one. Yeah, he's getting softer.
I see the enemy fall back, as you show your face, Lord. Hear our voices call back, call back. This is a call to war, Lord. We will not fail, we will prevail. This is our destiny. So light the morning with your glory, claim your victory. This is a call to battle. This is a call to battle. Blow the trumpet, shout in Zion. Gonna rise up like a lion, slay our enemy, destroy our giant. To you alone, stand defiant with all-consuming, endless power. You alone are our strong tower. Every ember takes us higher. God, rise up like a fire, like a fire. We will not.
Yep, right now we are live on YouTube.
That's cool.
I did not click live on Facebook yet because Josh is not down here, but I am here by myself.
Do I
So.
need to take his thing away from him?
I don't know, but I don't want him to keep hitting everything. What is it? The squeaky toy? Maybe. Yeah. Because it'll be squeaking.
I just need to know.
Yes. The answer is yes. I don't want a bunch of that in the background. I mean,
Big. Give me your toy.
kind of a...
Give me your toy.
I wonder how you get viewers on YouTube. What do you think we have to do to get viewers on YouTube Live?
Just share it?
Share it where? To my Facebook?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know.
I did, though. I shared it on Victory Drive.
Drop it.
Victory
Ow.
Drive.
Come on. Get your ducky. Okay, get your ducky.
What was that, you guys? I said take away his squeaky toy. You're just ignoring me on that? Just keep giving him the squeaky toy?
He doesn't have a squeaky toy.
I heard it. Just over here under my butt.
What's another kind of squeaky toy?
Hey. Hey, man. Hey, straight shooter, man.
Are you all set up already?
I'm set up. I can go live on Victory Drive any minute
Do you want
now.
to change your backdrop?
Ooh, good point. You know how I do it now?
You put the
I
blue
put the
on?
blue over it. Beat you to it. You're so predictable.
Hey, I have a secret. Can you come here?
I cannot get over there. I'm sorry. Trapped. I'm trapped in the studio.
You're not.
I'm trapped in the studio, baby. I'm trapped in the studio, baby. I'm trapped in the studio, baby. Oh, that's how you get people live. That's how you people live on YouTube is you sing the song. It goes a sing a bang bang ba doo doo.
Don't chew on any stuff again. Fucking so bad.
This is interesting. It's frozen. The YouTube live is frozen. Ah, yes, now it is good to go. It is no longer frozen. Victory Drive Recovery Group is a group that meets live on Thursday nights at 6835 Victory Drive in Woodstock. Ark Family Church. We're not exactly Celebrate Recovery, but we are a Christ-centered, Holy Spirit-powered, 12-step support group. We would love to have you on any Thursday. Brent and Josh, and sometimes guests, sit back and talk about recovery, Christianity, church and fellowship, and other topics. Babe, can you find us on YouTube? It should be under Victory Drive on YouTube. Oh, Victory Drive Saturday Live on YouTube, I think. No, Victory Drive Recovery Group. And then the me far back, when you show your face on.
You're live right now.
Are you a viewer? Are you viewing it? Because it doesn't say that you are. I wonder what happens. Concurrent. I wonder what happens on the concurrent. So I don't know if Josh is going to be excited about YouTube going live or not. Ooh, now I have one concurrent viewer. Concurrent. What, baby? Welcome to live chat. Well, that's really cool, man. That's really special. So happy about it. So happy about the YouTube. So happy about the YouTube. About the YouTube. This is a call to battle. This is a call to battle. Like a lion.
I'm gonna only be chewing on your bone.
Chewing on your bone, chewing on your bone.
Nuts, boy.
Got a German Shepherd, Australian Shepherd mixed. His name is Big F, and the F stands for faithful. Because if you are faithful in the small things, then he is faithful in the big things. What? Why are you laughing like that, baby?
That's the way you're talking. I've never heard you talk like that in a long time.
And you can join us on YouTube Live as well as Facebook Live. This is our first night ever on YouTube Live, and it's a bust. I mean, we are completely busted. We're busting at. It's one thing Jordan don't know about is busting at of here. We busting out of here live on YouTube Live. Oh, it says I have one concurrent viewer. Is it you again? Oh, Emily. Emily, do you see anything in the chat? Oh, did you hang it up? Oh, dude. Evidently, I can't put that many things in the chat at one time.
Is your mouth stuck?
That's weird. Welcome to Victory Drive Recovery Live on Saturday nights.
I'm trying to help you, baby. Ouch.
Who?
Stop.
You feel like you haven't seen who, bud?
Last week I was dog sitting for the family I watch. This week I was helping him with the dogs, and he was at work actually taking care of the dogs. I think Freckles was so mean this morning.
Oh. Hey,
She's like, I missed you.
over here. Over here. Then you got big ass.
Oh boy, oh boy. Average view duration 1 minute. Thank you, Jordan and Emily, for viewing me for less than 1 minute. To cause my view duration to go up to 1 minute. I've been live for 12 minutes and all I've done is talk nonsense to you two. Not YouTube, because there's been no one else but you two. However, I'm still very, very happy about it. I'm so happy that I can go live on YouTube on Saturday. Live. Now, I have viewers here I can talk to on the camera, but I'd prefer to talk to you two-face. Two-face. Mano e womano. Because you two are not manos. I'm live on YouTube.
That's what I hear, and then I come down here and you're speaking gibberish.
Have you looked at it? Have you pulled up YouTube yet and seen? Well, look at here. This is the whole reason we drive to Smyrna, is to get a hot cup of coffee and a Marvel cup.
Is this our podcast for the day?
Ooh, it's hot. It's hot like a sunny day out here in Smyrna, Georgia, on a roof right after a fresh rain, and the humidity is at 180%, and the temperature's
what's
at
happening,
99.
But good afternoon.
Oh, it froze. 2 viewers caused it to freeze.
2 viewers caused it to freeze. How many?
Glory. We've had 2 viewers.
And
For
they-
average duration after Emily viewed, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
We had a whole minute because Jordan watched for a minute.
What? Yeah, it looks that way.
Josh, hit your. Why is it orange, baby? Hit your mic where it doesn't have the.
I don't know. This mic has 1 orange dot.
Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Yay.
So, here we are. It's Saturday Live with Victory Drive.
Here we are. It's live on Saturday with Victory Drive.
You just want to be contradictory.
You just want to be a contradictory. Are you mocking me?
Oh, man.
Are
So
you
we're
ready to
not
go live
live.
on Facebook?
So, we're live on YouTube right now.
We're
Just
live on YouTube. We're not live on
messing
Facebook.
around, just not even know what's going
Now
on.
we're recording.
Okay.
Okay. What you wanna do? What you gonna do? What
Feeling
you
that
gonna
he's
do
not
when they come
staying
for you? Oh, he should
In
be
this
great.
area.
He'll be fine.
Because Freckles loves me.
Oh man.
So how's
How was hands and feet?
Awesome.
Was it?
Yes.
Good. Glad.
It was very, very awesome.
You don't have any interesting stories? Or you're just gonna tell me it's awesome? Or?
Yeah. Let's go live and we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Does that sound good to you?
I thought we already were live. So
We're live on YouTube.
I know. So I was trying to get
I've
at least
been live
some,
on YouTube.
some banter on
Ever
YouTube.
since I hit start streaming, I've been live on YouTube.
Okay.
Nobody cares. 0 people are watching that. I can go live right now on Facebook because I copied and pasted it on YouTube. Are you ready now?
Yeah, whenever. I'm going to take a sip of this coffee. You can...
So
good
I
afternoon.
don't know why, but the video looks blurry. Oh, no, it fixed. I think it fixed.
It is
Saturday Live.
with Victory Drive.
And we're also live on YouTube for the first time ever.
I don't know why it keeps going orange over here, but hopefully sound is good. Sound check, 1 2 1 2.
Sound
Anyone?
check, 1 2 1 2.
Anyone on the sound check? Do I need to do the sound check?
So excited to be here. So today's been a big day. Josh already asked me about some things. This morning I woke up and went straight into corporate prayer. I have a new dog, and he was having tummy issues, so he was a whole mess today. But he seemed to have dialed it back and relaxed a bit. I have had a lot of people tell me it's because of the fireworks Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I think he
That
just
he's
got.
just got nervous energy. I don't know about it.
That's an
I don't know if
interesting
I
theory.
even believe in all that.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if I believe in it.
That's like an Eminem. You just did an Eminem quote. Huge week for just recovery topics. I talked to my brother 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, talk to your dad.
Cool. I talked to my dad, which was cool. Someone called me this morning, who I haven't spoke to since I got COVID the first time.
Okay.
So whatever. Then I was looking back in the text message, and the last time that we had talked, I had just gotten
That was like 19. That was 19. right?
2019, maybe
Yeah.
whatever it was. I just tested positive for COVID. So this is the last time I had talked to him. He called me this morning, talked to me for about an hour about recovery.
That's cool.
Said he liked our podcast, or he asked me about the podcast, which was cool.
Yeah.
Because, I think when you do stuff like this, at the beginning, you just really care if it reaches one person, you're happy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So it's like,
Are you saying that as we go on, we're like, man, if we don't get at least 10 people, we're not doing anything.
I really can't lie about that. Like this
You start to
YouTube
feel that?
live having 0 viewers is hurting my feelings. Like, I'm like,
Whatever. Would you like? Let me see what I can do about the YouTube.
Where do you think you can share it?
I'm gonna share it.
Well, I put it on Victory Drive's Facebook and on my own Facebook. So if you want to share it from there,
I can do that.
or you can go look it up. I don't care what you do; it's fine with me. But I'm excited now. So
glad that it's fine with you.
yeah, good.
Thanks for your
I
permission.
approve. Is all I'm telling you. So, anyway, so this morning started out so it's interesting to me how much work goes into doing this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to it. Even on Tuesday we talked a little bit about Jordan and I and working with Ark Family's youth over the weekend. That was a lot of work, and it's just a lot of work goes into this kind of stuff. And
Yeah, well, I mean, ministry in general. I mean, maybe not necessarily. Well, I mean, a lot of work goes into recovery, but
what's
But yeah,
funny
all
is
of it.
if you come into AA like we did, it's not a ministry.
no.
It's a fellowship.
a
We
fellowship, yeah.
literally could Google some of this stuff and read it. In fact, you want to do that tonight? You want to Google some of this
what?
stuff and read it? What AA is and what CR is. Now,
As far
Victory
as-
Drive's neither really.
Yeah, it's
They have
you
literature that says
you have a hybrid. You're Victory Drive
I
is
have
a hybrid.
literally Victory Drive is Ark Family Church inspired, Ark Family Church led. I mean,
Worship,
we
recovery group.
The way we put it, it's a
CR.
recovery group.
CR,
But CR doesn't lead it. One of the guys from Woodstock First Baptist CR called me and emailed me a bunch of literature and stuff. And if we pay and we sign up and we buy their things,
Let me say with AA, right?
they'll advertise us and put us everywhere.
Okay.
Now I think AA is similar too. I can get registered, but I don't have to pay. But I could go out down to the AA headquarters.
Yeah, because there's like websites you can go to sponsored by AA or sponsored by CR that'll give you all of their meetings in a
Right. If you look
in an
up a
area.
Thursday night meeting
Yeah,
at
yeah.
6:30, it'll pop up and say.
Yeah.
But because we're Victory Drive, we're not on those.
Yeah.
But we've gained some ground because a gentleman visited us from a men's group or men's recovery center
Okay.
in Jasper. I wasn't there Thursday, but this. So we are gaining, and obviously the guy from Woodstock First Baptist called me, so we are getting some
People are hearing things.
Yeah.
You think it's because of this podcast, or you think it's because of what's going on at ARC?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's both of those
Good,
things.
good.
So the first thing that I'm going to Google, and if you can use your phone, I can't use my phone because my phone acts as the production for the cameras.
My phone acts as our second viewer.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. You make a valid point there.
So,
Who is our other viewer? You think?
Emily right now, I believe.
Oh, okay. So no one's watching. No one cares. And that, I mean, listen, that's okay. I like hanging out with you.
Yeah, I'm good with
this. Feels good.
Yeah,
just to spend some time with you.
It's a weird way to say it, but yeah,
is good.
it's
You
a
know,
weird
it's
way
fun.
to say it, but yeah.
Did I say it weird?
I knew it was coming. Emily said, "Ouch."
No, I didn't see it.
called-
There it is. I got to
called her.
close this
You
one.
called her nobody. So
Where did you go, Emily? Are you?
she's taking a nap.
She leaves the live audience.
She's taking a
you
nap.
know?
Well, I think she gets a better experience of what everybody else gets if she watches it from upstairs. I don't know. She went to take a nap with her cats. Is what she did.
What? So when you go to an AA meeting, what do they call it at the beginning?
It's a fellowship.
No, they say it's something though. They say the Alcoholics Anonymous, and then they call it something when they read it.
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of off the top of my head. It's been so long since I've been to an actual AA meeting that Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women. They call it a fellowship.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's what they call it, but
You said when they read their
haven't-
literature, that's what they say.
The preamble.
Okay, the preamble.
Now you're talking about the AA preamble. Now CR does the same thing, but they call it the who we are.
Okay,
Okay, so here's the AA.
preamble.
I'm going to read it. AA preamble, and I don't hate it. I do not hate it. The preamble.
No, why would
But no, I don't.
you? The preamble helped get you
Alcoholics
sober.
Anonymous is a fellowship of people, which it used to say a fellowship of men and women. But now,
And then a long time ago, I'm sure it said a fellowship of men.
probably the first
very-
100 men.
Yeah, in
got
the very
sober.
beginning. Yeah. But they're evolving.
Yeah, it's terrible. Can we stop for a second at Victory Drive? I just want to talk about something for a second because we're Christ based. AA has always said in how it works that there are people who are unable to be honest with themselves.
Yes, there are.
And it says if you can recover if you are
Rigorously honest.
with yourself.
Yes.
And then it says, unfortunately, there are a few that cannot be honest with themselves, which suggests that if you are unable to be honest with yourself,
Then you will have trouble.
And-
So if you're unable to be honest with yourself, you may stay dry. But getting sober and finding this new way of life that leads to a whole different, it's just a whole different way of viewing life and living life that where you don't even want to go back to the using and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get there without being honest is, I want to say, impossible.
not obviously, there's many ways to
yeah.
recovery, right?
Improbable.
and here's
Improbable. How's that?
So I'm going to spend some time here. Tonight we are going to talk about spiritual gifts. We are.
Okay.
This is what I would like to talk about. But now we opened up, and this is very curious how this opened up. And I think this is kind of what happens. This is why we do this. This is why Josh and I meet on Saturdays to go live on Victory Drive, Facebook, and to go live on YouTube, is to talk about these things, these hard-hitting issues. These are real-life things to talk about. So I want to say this to start off with. Number one, in the AA, how it works, it says men and women who are honest with themselves can recover. Now,
Yes.
I don't believe for a second that AA is the only way to recover. I'm sure men and women all over the country get clean without a program.
Mhm.
Okay? But here's the second part. You meet men and women all the time who have 30 days and 90 days.
Yeah.
But you don't meet men and women all the time who have 18 years and 10 years.
It's true.
This is a different thing. This is why we say long-term recovery. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard that, but I always say, if you're talking to me, I say, well, yeah, I think there's many ways.
I can't tell you how many people I know who have gone without AA, without anything like that, have just gone a year sober or dry, and then be like, well, I just did it because, I felt like I was getting down a road that I didn't want to go down, so I stopped. But I'm back drinking now, or I'm back doing this now. And what I don't think they understand, a lot of them, is if you live long enough, eventually you'll go back down that road again.
Okay.
It's kind of the way it works.
And you keep using the word dry, which is also opening my mind to another thing about this topic, is there are people that can stay clean for a long time.
Yes.
But calling that long-term recovery or sobriety is far. I've met many a clean men who were angry and hard to have a friendship with and didn't talk to anyone and had never worked any kind of program with anybody.
And couldn't really be around other people drinking or using or anything like that.
Or going to restaurants or driving in traffic or working with them or staying,
Yeah. Like any any little thing would set them off. And that's not sobriety.
Right.
That's not recovery. That's dry. That's clean. That's I haven't used in this long.
And it's different.
But I've not changed. But my life hasn't changed. And that's just I don't know. I don't know any, but also I don't know any Christians like that either, because Christians is a different thing, because when they come in and accept Christ, their life changes anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the other
kind of change.
So now we have all these. We have people that come in, get clean, and talk about it a lot. That's your first day to 6 months.
Yeah.
People. Then you have people that come in and they get clean, but they don't build relationships. They don't do a step program. They don't do anything, and they just stay clean for a long time, but they're miserable to be around for everybody. Like even their kids and stuff are still like, I'd rather him be drunk than this. Yeah. And then you have people that come into a recovery program and they get it. They start working with others. They stay clean for a very long time. And then you have what you just switched over to is people who come into the church for the first time, new. Now, this is a very curious type of people because they come in with a lot of issues.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if you're like me, come to the church with obviously financial insecurities, economic insecurities.
Yep.
They come in with relationships in shambles. They come in maybe with health problems. They come in not feeling like they belong and many other things. And then they find the Lord and are almost expected to snap out of it.
Instantaneously, life transformation. And I don't think that is biblical.
Ooh, okay. Let's take it there.
I just don't think that the verse says he is transforming us. We are being transformed, not we were transformed. We are being transformed. It is an ongoing thing of us learning and growing and asking the Lord to make us more like him, and him working things out in us through prayer and meditation and all those things. Same as with prayer and meditation. It's a constant contact with our Creator and our Savior that gets us to a point where we are being transformed more and more and more.
Yeah.
We're never a finished work.
It's kind of what Emily is saying here too, is she hasn't had a drink in a year, but she's not really alcoholic.
Yeah.
She just has been,
transformed.
At some point she found
going,
that drinking is probably not beneficial to her religious lifestyle. I don't know why she doesn't drink.
And that's between her and the
Lord. It's hard for me to want to drink when I'm around you all the time. So maybe it's because she's been married to you.
Yeah, that's the thing is that you can't be around me and just because I'm not gonna drink. So it's no fun for you when you're drinking around me. Because
I'm a good time if you're drinking.
yeah, that's true.
I am belligerent
Yeah, because you.
as it is.
There are people that ask you how many you've had.
I know. And then
Well,
when
you've had
I
none.
say there's people that when I say I quit drinking, they say no, you haven't.
You drunk all the time.
I'm like, what? Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
So
She said,
Um,
"Yeah, it's lame."
So these are the different things. So, and then I have met people with long-term recovery and long-term sobriety, long-term clean that have went to service and just got laid hands on them and bam, it happened.
Yeah.
It's just weird how Christians expect that.
But with those things, so here's the thing though. Maybe with that, but those laying on hands doesn't wipe everything off your life. That you still have issues in your life other than so you get your hands laid, and now you have no desire to drink anymore. Awesome. You could still be like you're saying. You
that's
still
what
may
I'm
be
saying.
angry over here.
I
You may-
met a guy
Yeah.
who was pleasant to be around. He's wonderful. I think,
Oh, you talk. Yeah, I know.
I,
you're
mean, I
talking
don't know
about.
if you met him. His wife loves him. His kids love him. Everything. It's. I mean, I don't know I don't know how to explain it, but I've seen it happen. Now it's is it the only way? I don't know. But I will say this: if you're not honest with yourself, good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Yeah.
So I am curious with the AA program, and I gotta say this before I run the intro video. How blessed am I that the Lord pulled me out of that AA circle and put me into a Christian
Before it got
this happened.
all. It's weird, man, because like AA was never woke. It was just a thing.
It couldn't be woke. It's the
Yeah.
people who wrote the AA literature put in so many proofs that
Yeah.
this could not happen.
Yeah.
I
I don't know how.
You can't support the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
They are not in line with anything.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you're not supposed to support any cause.
They can't affirm your cause.
Yeah,
they cannot do that.
It's not
They
a. It's,
literally put
it's
it
in their.
I don't understand.
Not in their preamble, but it's in their.
Well, it used to,
Something's in their. Well, it's not in their preamble, but it's in their
their traditions.
their traditions. We do not affirm or
Right.
support
it's-
any causes.
Right. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing that
And I don't know why, because here's the thing:
has
is you were gonna get canceled. You're anonymous, anyways.
you can't get canceled.
You're anonymous. How are you cancel
I
them?
I don't understand this except for to say
Yeah, it's weird.
except for to say that the way they started put them in a jeopardizing place to where when the tail comes back around and the liberal tries to bite its own tail, they didn't know how to
Dodge it.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, and I will say this: we've seen signs, right? You see the memes that say, "If I hit the lottery, I'm not going to tell anyone, but there will be signs." Over the last 20 years, I would say in AA, you've seen signs of where it's coming back around. One of them being where they don't allow you to bring up Jesus Christ in a meeting, but the Buddhists and the Muslims and the
can bring up.
zodiac signs and every other kind of belief was freely talked about.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they didn't even know, the chairperson at the time or whoever didn't really know that's what you were even doing, that you
Yeah.
were even talking about.
But when
religion.
you brought up Christ,
Everybody knew, and you were, and then of course they allowed different addictions with alcoholics. Alcoholics are allowed to be addicted to marijuana. They're allowed to be
Yeah.
addicted to pain pills and
Yeah.
things like that. And there's no, they still call themselves clean.
they started giving all these little avenues to where people could just do kind of whatever they want, and just as long as they didn't drink alcohol, we're good.
We're good.
And it's because they went so hardcore on. We only talk about alcohol here. You can't talk about anything else.
Well, I think
Don't
that came
you
from conviction
ever-
too. I think that came from honesty too. If you're a drunk, an ex-drunk like I am, and you're taking painkillers or Xanax or
Mm-hmm.
other substances, you're not really clean. You're now masking this, and if you're not being honest with
Yeah,
what
when
you're
somebody
doing,
else brings it up, you're like, oh no, we're gonna
you
shut
get very
that down.
defensive.
Yeah.
And So I think there were signs.
It's like the
that-
grace preachers who were living in sin.
Absolutely, kind
It's
of.
the same kind of thing.
It's kind of that.
It's when you bring up sin, they're the first ones to be like, we're covered by grace. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Kind of thing.
because if they're living in sin, they want to get covered. Or like I think that one pastor was
They
like,
don't want to get convicted.
one pastor was like, "Man, I worried for you," and the other pastor was like, "Why are you worried about me?" And then the first pastor, Pastor 1 was like, "Because every time you preach sin in hell."
Yeah.
And Pastor 2 was like, "Okay, what's that?" And then Pastor 1 was like, "Well, when they find out about your sin, you'll be living in hell." And Pastor 2 was like, "Now I'm worried about you." And Pastor 1 was like, "Worried about me? Why?" And he's like, Pastor 2 is like, because the sin you're hiding, and you're like you literally just exposed that you are living in sin.
Yeah,
And that's why you preach the grace
that you preach.
gospel to everyone. So, all right.
It was an average of 52 seconds that people have watched us on YouTube.
Yeah, and that was you.
Pretty awesome.
So there's a storm outside.
There's a storm brewing.
And that, my poor dog, man, he is from Wednesday to Saturday.
So was he freaking out on the fireworks?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was decent, but yeah, he was. All right, so Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women,
Come on now.
or it's, as the LGBTQ has now somehow gotten there.
Change
of
the
people who share their
change the
experience,
literature, bro.
strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses or opposes any causes.
So it's right there in the preamble.
It's weird that they would change this to affirm the LGBTQ, but still leave that.
Yeah, I mean it's right there. It's literally in black and white. But anyways, it's their choice. They do what they want. I trust in Jesus.
I trust in God,
I mean, it's just what
my
we are.
Savior. No, absolutely. Now it's the same deal with the traditions. The traditions also tried to step up against this from happening. But it here we are. It has happened. It is what it is. And we will float on. We'll all float on. But I got very, very blessed before this happened.
You were yanked out of it.
I was yanked out of it. The first thing that happened to me is 2024 now, so this had to be 2021, maybe 2020. The Lord spoke to my heart and said, "Hey, man, yes, people will die if they don't stop drinking. People will die if they don't stop using. But clean people will die and go to hell if someone doesn't tell them about Jesus."
Oof, come on.
And my whole thing shifted from recovery, sobriety, help people get sober, to
Evangelism.
yeah, guys, I wish I could give you, and once you figure this out, the relationship with Christ that you have, the sobriety thing will fall behind it.
Yeah, it has to. If you're honest and if you're rigorous in your walk with Christ, there's no time for all that. You know what I'm saying? There's no time for partying and getting completely smashed on a Saturday night and showing up to church drunk or showing up to prayer on Saturday night drunk, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like there's no time for that. And I'm not saying people early in their walk with Christ can't go out and drink and go, figure your life out. Let Christ continue to work on you from the inside out. But I'm just saying, after a while, if he's not transforming your life, if there's not fruit of that transformation, then maybe you need to reevaluate if you've actually submitted, like your submission, your surrender. Because I'm sorry, and it's hard for me not to say this and not think that I'm offending someone, but it is what it is. If you're not submitted to him fully, then you're not going to have the fruits of that transformation and the fruits of your relationship with him. You're just not going to have it.
It just is what it is. I mean, it's true. All right, let's play the intro.
See the enemy fall back, fall back. As you show your face, Lord, hear our voices call back, call back. This is a call to war, Lord. We will not fail, we will prevail. This is our destiny. So light the morning with your glory, claim your victory. This is a call to battle. This is a call to battle. Blow the trumpet, shout in Zion. Gonna rise up like a lion, slay our enemy, destroy our giant. To you alone, stand defiant with all-consuming, endless power. You alone are our strong tower. Every ember takes us higher. God, rise up like a fire, like a fire. We will.
So we are back after that beautiful intro video from Matt Pelt and the Ark Family Worship Team.
That's Matt Van Pelt, sir.
Oh man, I always forget that. Did you hear the story about Matt Van Pelt and what happened?
I mean, there's so many stories.
So I get a text message from his wife, and I'm driving or working. I can't remember what I was doing, and it has a bunch of photos of different Nikes, and she's saying, which one should I buy for him?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
So you know about it?
Yeah.
And we picked the LeBrons.
Yeah.
He was angry. Oh, yeah, because Tuesday he popped up and said something about it.
Yeah, he was.
So, all right, now, moving along, here's where we're going to go today. I'm going to see if I can find this in my text message, because I sent it to you. But if I can't,
I can bring it up in mine. This right here.
oh, I do have it. So, I want to start by talking about the gifts that the Lord blesses us with.
Yeah.
Now, I have a whole theory about your Elon Musk, your Michael Jackson, all these different entertainers, these different philosophers, the different scientists, mathematicians, Einstein, just presidents, Obama, just different people that are just naturally good at stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Michael Jordan was blessed by the Lord.
Absolutely.
Now, yes, did hard work and stuff like that come? Yeah, obviously you got to work hard to these things, but
I would think that all the people, for as many people that play high school basketball, and for as many people that play college basketball at a high level, but don't make the NBA, those people are just have an edge, and I would say that edge is the gift from God.
same opportunities came, everything for other men,
they
and
were
they didn't
practicing
get there.
just as hard, just as much, and all that kind of stuff. But that little bump from
Who's your
God's
hands
gift.
down favorite pastor? Hands down favorite pastor of all time since to now. Ba-bow, ba-bow.
You can't put me on the spot like that.
Why?
I
What's
have
wrong?
3.
Just give me one of the 3.
All right, so
I guarantee I can still make the point if you give me your number 3 of your top 3.
I would
still
say
make the point.
I
I'm
would say
trying to make.
Pastor Miles Rutherford.
Okay, so Pastor
Rutherford.
Miles Rutherford, which I've seen a handful of times, and if you've ever seen him, he's got a book out. You can get caught up with Miles anytime you want to. He's a brilliant and prolific and wonderful pastor.
Yeah.
Okay, there are pastors out there as well articulate as he is,
More even.
as spirit filled as he is, who don't have a congregation size that he
Yeah.
has, and then there's others that aren't near as
Spirit-filled.
spirit-filled as he is, but their congregation is worldwide. and
Yes, yeah.
They are, Stephen Furtick. Do you know him? Do you like Stephen Furtick?
I
Have you
mean,
heard-
yeah. I mean, I think, yeah.
pound for pound, in your opinion, Stephen Furtick, can he even compete with Miles?
Can he preach like him? I mean, as far
Pound
as,
for pound, I'm just
as
talking
far
about.
as far as articulation and stuff like that, yeah. But
Stephen's
as far
brilliant.
As, yeah,
He's probably got writers at this point and all the money he makes.
you know what I'm
but-
saying. But as far as I don't, here's the thing: is I've never been to Elevation Church.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the Spirit's like in that building. And I'm not going to sit on YouTube and be like, well, I don't feel the Spirit coming through this. I mean, sometimes I feel the Spirit coming through the screen from Miles, but for Pastor Miles, but I would have to go sit in the building to give an accurate synopsis of whether or not I think Stephen Furtick is moving in the Spirit like that.
Stephen Furtick, Joel Osteen, pound for pound.
Stephen Furtick.
But do you think Joel Osteen even compares to Miles?
To me, it's two different. To me, it's you're talking about
Fair. It's a fair answer.
a spirit.
I don't like the answer, but
A
it's
spirit
fair.
preacher and a
I
motivational
guarantee
speaker.
from Michael Jordan's life, there's a movie Nike put out, and it shows Nike trying to stay relevant where Adidas and Converse were starting to beat them.
Yeah.
And Adidas and Converse had special deals with the Spurs or had special deals with certain basketball players.
Yeah.
And Nike just was trying to get in. They just didn't know how to do it.
Enter Michael Jordan.
Right, I know. And the deal he got.
The
deal his mom was able to negotiate was not possible without the competition of Converse and Adidas and the way they were writing deals.
And from what
It
you
all
from what I've
fell
heard
in the
is
same.
is that deal that he got, and I don't think a lot of people don't give him credit for this except for players. That deal that he got paved the way for all of the sponsorship deals that NBA players get now, or even other other sports.
Totally. And I'm
because
sure
nothing
one day
it was unheard of.
We're going to
back
read about how college, something similar happened in college, how it was before. And this is my point, though. Without that atmosphere, I remember one time you and I were into politics, and we were about to vote. We voted for a Democrat Republican named John McCain. And
A rhino named John McCain.
I think Sarah Palin was a Christian conservative
Yeah.
vice president. And then we turned around and voted for a Mormon, Mitt Romney, and a
Yeah.
Christian conservative, Paul Ryan, who
Ended up being
completely flopped on us at some point. And I don't know if we'll ever
both
find
of
out
them
why.
did. Both of them did.
I don't think we'll ever figure out what happened with Paul Ryan. But he went from looking a lot like that senator that I like now, the blonde one that is so good at talking. I can't think of his name. But he articulates all this Joe Biden stuff so well.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
No.
If you said his name, I know.
Yeah.
But Paul Ryan was like that.
And
then
then
he
all
started
this-
running, and all of a sudden he was not
Yeah. And then
strong anymore.
Yeah. And then
I
he
don't
got
think we'll
into-
ever know what
he
happened
got
there.
into Congress and stuff, and it was just bad.
So about a year or two goes into it, and Barack Obama says, we're talking about taxes here, okay? And he got most of the country where, honestly, if you sit down and you look at property tax, education, IRS, your federal tax, your income tax, your payroll tax, your sales tax, you look at all the taxes.
Yeah.
Capital gains has got to be one of the biggest scams anyone's ever put on us as Americans ever. And we just let them.
Yeah. Just let it go.
With capital gains, y'all, I don't care. I don't care how you try to push it.
Make it okay. It's not.
If Josh goes to work for $10 an hour for 1 hour, and he earns $10, and the government takes $3, and now he has $7, and he has to spend $3 of his $7 to live, and out of that $3, he pays a tax to live, and he's got $4 left, and decides to take $2 of that $4 and invest it, and makes $20. The government has no right to that 20
No,
at all. And if they take anything, honestly, out of that
theft.
20,
It's
they
theft.
have that's a double tax and a triple. I mean, they have
Yeah.
come. Now, I'm okay with him taking that 2 out of that 4 and investing it, and the government taking 30 out of that, only letting you invest $1.70. So if you try to buy $2 worth of something,
Yeah.
and the government says, okay, there's a tax on that something,
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Almost like a sales tax of
a
buying
sales
a stock.
tax on your investment.
Yeah.
But taxing the income made off of a successful
Yeah,
investment
because I mean, you could
is
that $2 could turn
insane.
into $100,000, and now
It's
yeah,
insane
that's crazy.
to
Yeah,
me.
It is crazy.
And I've seen Mitt Romney was the first for me who had $20 million sitting in a fund that was generating him $2 to $4 million a year.
Yeah.
And they were mad that he only was paying $200,000 a year on that. And I was like going, he shouldn't have to pay $200,000 out
You
of
should have to
that.
pay a dime on
And
that.
$200,000 is more than any of you are being taxed in a lifetime.
Yeah. Yes.
This is unbelievable that and I don't care if Josh's $2 investment turns into $4 million over his lifetime and he hands it to Justin and Justin starts to invest it, you don't get to tax that either.
No, it's like
It's the same $2 that's already been taxed.
yeah. You've already taxed this money. What I did with it after that is none of your business.
And Obama came out when the capital gains back then was like what, like 7%?
I don't know, but it was
low.
Took it up like 20% or something. Like
Well,
that.
he
Crazy.
ran it to 12, and
Okay,
I think
whatever.
everybody got really upset.
I just like to exaggerate.
and he
but
did
it's
it on the grounds that Mitt Romney ain't pay no tax, you know.
Yeah.
Which was, go look, Mitt Romney funded a whole lot of our special interests that we, the global climate stuff.
Blah blah blah.
They're paying these scientists so much money to sit on ice and claim that it's melting out of Mitt Romney's payroll tax. Like, I mean, holy crap.
Sit
So
on ice and claim that it's melting. That's
Barack
the line of the
Obama
day.
said, if you have a successful business, you didn't build that, and it upset you. I was there. I
Yeah.
saw you get upset because you yourself did not have a successful business. Did you work at Nova?
Oh, at the time I was not working.
We had a radio station
Yeah, we did have a radio
in
station.
an apartment.
Yep, it was fun stuff. But no, because you can't tell somebody who built something that they didn't build something just because you made the roads that got them there. That doesn't make any sense because you know what? Before you made those roads, we were riding on dirt roads. So whatever, so you made it, paved it. Who cares? That doesn't mean you helped build that business. Shut up.
I'm going to use this saying for God.
What?
If you're successful at anything at all in this life, you didn't build that.
No.
God blessed you
Yes.
with gifts, and that's where I'm going
Yes.
with gifts. Now I'm going to read a few of the gifts.
But that's completely different. But anyways, go ahead.
It's not.
It's completely different.
When I was born, there was a road, and I was gifted with that road. There was a public school that I was gifted with out of Mitt Romney's money.
All right, man. Well, you go vote for Biden, and he'll make you some more. roads.
Dude,
It's
can
fine.
you see it? It is. I mean,
This isn't Tuesday.
maybe no, it's not. This is Victory Drive Saturday Live with no viewers, so we're just doing whatever we want. When you and I first started talking politics, I used to say to you, I can't believe Christians would vote Democrat.
Yeah.
But I see now why.
Why? Because the giving to the poor.
The kingdom of heaven is is a socialized democracy.
Yeah, but it's done in a different way.
Well, first off, we're all Christians. Every one of us have the same rules we're supposed to be going by. And
Yes.
that a secular liberal does not follow any of that stuff.
No. It's a completely different. You don't get to tell me that Jesus would have been a Democrat when you don't believe in Jesus. Stop.
I know, Liza. I'm so sorry. We're moving on. This was only used for one reason. Barack Obama said, if you have a successful business, you didn't build that. And I'm saying if you're successful at anything in this life, it's because of the blessings God gave you.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the only reason we're here. We're moving on, Liza.
We're
right
moving
now,
right along.
as our only viewer.
Well, I mean, I'm watching too.
So these are I got a list I sent to Josh. Now, we've been talking about the gifts of God, the gifts of the Spirit, God-given gifts. And a lot of people have different concepts of this. The first time I ever heard of it, someone told me about the fivefold ministry.
Yeah.
And called those gifts. So the first one is apostle,
Apostles.
preacher.
Well, yeah. In
Teacher.
order, it's like apostles, prophets, evangelists, preachers, and teachers.
Okay.
I think.
And I do agree. And as I started to understand more and more about the apostle side of it, I do see people who argue in favor of their team, or they argue in favor of this band, or they argue in
Yeah.
favor of this political thing, and you're like, wow, man, if you would put that energy into
Towards the
something that was
kingdom.
real, you know,
Yeah.
that, and I think the way you said it, so it says apostleship, prophecy, teaching, evangelism. Now, exhortation.
It's lifting up, the lifting up of your fellow brethren.
And I think you see this in sales offices all the time. You see this.
Yeah.
I think we lost her, man. I think she.
No,
Liza,
she's still
did you
there.
leave? Okay.
She's still
I
there.
can't tell
I think I'm
how many viewers we actually have, who comes, who goes. I can't.
yeah.
It's
There's
like
no way
a-
to see who's coming and going. But no,
But on YouTube, you got zero.
You got zero.
You got a big old egg.
So yeah, because I mean, if you take a good manager who is really just exceptionally good at lifting his team up and getting them to work for him, and he's right alongside of them in the trenches, and he's doing this thing, like, that's a gift. Like, you
a
don't
gift.
find them just
And you can
ran,
work hard,
like, out
and you
there.
can train and make it better. But it was a God-given thing.
Yeah, it was a God-given
And
thing.
here's what's interesting is you can meet men and women who are able to run a sales team and manage a bunch of stuff who don't really make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Then you can meet men and women who aren't that good at managing their sales team,
make a killing.
but they make a bunch of money because the gift of making money. There's
Yeah.
a gift, and on this list it calls it the gift of giving.
Yeah, because you have to give.
Right.
And I think personally, like
Not
before-
necessarily. I think people, obviously we read in the Bible a woman gave and she didn't have anything.
But you have to have something to be able to give. You have to have at least. She gave what 2 billion? Was like 2
She
billion.
gave every single thing that she had,
but she had it though. is
which
what
I'm
saying.
ready. I'm ready to do it too. I'm just about to give every little thing.
Every little thing. So what I'm saying is, as I feel like, is even before I was in the kingdom, I was generous. I tipped out of my crazy. I would, if I saw somebody on the side of the road who needed help, if I had it, I would stop and give it. So I feel like I was gifted with that even before. And this is what we're kind of talking about, is that they come without repentance, right? Like you don't necessarily have to be in the kingdom.
This is where we're going. And I want to first say, Liza says, and be cheerful giving. I have
exactly.
met a lot of people, Liza, who practice giving, but it makes them so miserable.
I can't
And
believe that I had to give that
They
to
do
them.
exist. Their testimony is giving was the most brutal, worst part of their life ever. And it's because they're not cheerful. They're
Yeah.
resentful. They judge everybody who's receiving, and they go through this whole...
Dude, I'm like, God, 2 years ago, I didn't have this to give here. Like,
that's
it's
glory.
just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you have to be to be a cheerful giver. You have to be able to look back in retrospect as to how far he's brought you.
Do you two think...
This is not yours.
Liza and Josh, do you guys think it's better to give and be resentful or to not give at all
I still think it's better to give.
and be resentful?
That's a hard question. That's a hard ask.
That's the other thing, man. If I give something to Josh right now and I tell everybody Josh didn't build that, I helped, I gave him.
Yeah.
Well, then it says in the Bible, I've received my reward. Their audience, them knowing
Yeah.
that your success was a seed I sown, that's my reward.
That's your reward. Yeah.
Discerning spirits. Discerning spirits as a gift.
That's. Do you know anybody like that?
I think so too. I think I do, yeah.
You think you know somebody like that, or you think you do?
I think I know someone who discerns.
Who can, like, when somebody just walks in a room, they're like, ooh,
Wow, and they
Yeah.
get it right. They've gotten it right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people judge people. A
Yeah,
lot
that's
of people
easy.
presume
Judging's
things. A lot
easy.
of people assume things. A
but
lot of people got
discerning
prejudice.
spirits
But
is a
to
totally
legit
different thing.
Say somebody walks into the room and they say that person has a lustful thing on them, and then that person does turn out to be like constantly doing lustful things.
Trying to get with people, and
Yeah, I've seen people that can discern.
that's interesting. I feel like I've seen people like that too. I feel like my assistant pastor's like that. I feel like she's pretty well discerning on spirits that walk into her,
Yeah.
into their buildings.
Speaking in tongues and interpreting tongues. What are your thoughts?
I love the gift of tongues. That's my thought.
Now, when we first started, back many years ago, when
Yeah.
you were still kind of not telling me the truth about Nova and some other things.
Oh, that was a while.
You remember those days?
Those were, yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah, back then, Liza, being our only viewer,
I speak directly to you.
yeah, back then, I was married.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know, other than a lot of rap music, any kind of R-rated movie ever.
Yeah.
What was I doing wrong back then?
What do you mean?
I didn't have any sin back then. I was married. You get married, you don't have sin, right?
Oh, I wish, brother. I wish. I wish that was the way it worked.
Discern that spirit.
Discern that spirit. That is a lying spirit.
I was married, and I went to work. I worked a lot because my bills were a lot, and I didn't have a lot of. I think I played cards.
Mm-hmm.
I fought with my wife a lot.
Yeah.
We fought a lot, but and you came into my life.
I still think you had a lustful eye everywhere, though.
That's an interesting perspective. I rebuke it. No, I mean,
I don't know if I'm wrong though.
bigly. I think
Yeah.
bigly. I think obviously. I think you're right. I think I looked at images. I think I
I mean, it was all over the
I remember she called me one time and found some things and was like all freaked out. So you're absolutely right. I had a lustful thing. So back then, what was your thoughts
On
speaking in tongues, praying in tongues,
I didn't
interpreting tongues?
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Weren't you a Methodist? Are you a Methodist?
Yeah.
So if somebody had come into your
Grew up
church
Methodist.
on a Sunday morning and started
Dude,
praying in tongues, what would be?
it would have. So you've seen those movies where like the straight laced guy walks into like the biker bar and like there's music playing, but then the record scratches and it comes to a complete halt. That would be
That
the
would be
Methodist.
the Methodist
That would be the Methodist church if somebody came in there and started speaking in tongues.
stood up and started speaking in tongues.
Yeah. And then they
You-
would probably
man.
shun him. They would probably kick him out. I don't know if they actually kick people out.
when
But
did you really see it in the church atmosphere? When did you start seeing it?
when I went to Worship with Wonders, I don't know if the first time
'Cause
when you
they-
took me,
they
I don't
did
know
it
if I
in
saw
Canton.
it.
They did it at Five Stones.
I went to Worship with Wonders first.
Oh, you visited Worship with Wonders before you visited.
I
Five
visited
Stones.
Worship with Wonders and started going to Worship with Wonders several times before I went to Five Stones.
Oh, no doubt. Okay.
Yeah. So and I had seen it. So I had seen it a what they did at Five Stones was nothing compared to
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens at Worship with Wonders. So, I mean, it was an awe-inspiring thing. I was like, this is, but then to see the crying, I remember I'll never forget the first time I watched a woman just break down in tears on her knees, crying, praying in tongues, and it was just an experience that I can't describe. And when people sit there and talk about, I see it on the internet all the time about babbling and all this crap that they call it, it irks me because I've seen breakthrough come from it.
Yeah.
And so I love speaking in tongues, man. I love praying in tongues.
So
I love singing
I have
in tongues.
a testimony
the whole thing.
and my recovery. Now, I will say this, 20, 25 years ago, or when you were dating, when we were younger, right? Very long time ago, I have been a Christian man. And this is what's been so interesting to me about the walk and the way Christians are is I professed Christ as the Son of God as early as 7 years old.
Same.
I've never walked away from that.
I don't think I ever. I walked in a season of doubt. I walked in a long season of pretty strong doubt.
Like agnostic doubt or no
Close,
God
yeah.
at all doubt?
No, agnostic doubt. Like,
There is a God, but
Like,
is
I mean-
Christ really the only way?
well, I mean, because even Andy Stanley kind of taught this. I don't want to say taught this, but kind of gave a sermon once that made it kind of feel like he was saying, and I don't want to say that he was saying this, but it just felt that way, that the God of Islam and the God of Judaism and Christianity is the same God.
Which is true. The three major players, which here's the deal. If you go on Google, for some reason, I cannot for the life of me figure this out, but I'm trying. Hinduism is what Google wants to tell you is the biggest religion in the world and the oldest and the most accurate. And it's not true. Yeah, all you have to do is go anywhere else but Google, and you will find out that that's not true.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if you Google this, it brings up Hinduism as the
most, which, I mean, Christianity is still I don't know. Is Christianity still the largest religion?
Judaism, but the top three are
Christianity,
Christianity, Judaism, and Muslim.
Islam,
They're
yeah.
the top three, and
And
they're
have
the
been.
original.
Yeah.
The original gangster is Judaism. It is the birth of Muslim
Yeah.
and Christianity.
Yes.
Hinduism is in there somewhere. All right, so let's stop for a second. Liza says, I had a friend who taught and said sometimes you think you have a discerning and point out someone's sin, it's because you have the same sin, and that is why you can discern that spirit. It's because you have the same sin in your life, and really, you're not discerning at all.
It's just-
I think that's majority of the time,
It's
Liza.
just game, recognized game.
I think the majority of the time that you are reacting to someone and think you're discerning spirits, you're really just reacting to something in yourself that hasn't been worked out.
Well, that identifies with them.
Correct.
Yeah, you have similar spirits that.
Dude, a liar knows a liar.
I don't want attracted to, but like
A liar knows a liar.
Yeah.
A thief knows a thief. A lustful eye knows a lustful person.
Yep.
They and on and on and on. What's funny to me though is a lot of these people that are really riddled in sin don't recognize when someone who's overcome a bunch of sins are sitting right next to them.
yeah,
You ever notice that? There's people riddled with sin that'll dump sin all over you, and you're like, I'm not like that. I disagree. I don't think we should steal from that person today or
Yeah, it
lie to
doesn't-
your wife or whatever
yeah.
craziness. You know,
yeah, it was like that.
a familiar spirit. Yeah. My boss said to me, he said, you know, men who cheat on their wives often tell him, and he would never cheat on his wife. In fact, he won't do business with someone who cheats on his wife. He won't because
Then why they tell him?
he doesn't know. But it's this thing that they dump it on him, and he's like, well, now I can't trust you. I won't write a check to you. I'm not going to split an account with you.
Yeah.
Because if you can't be good to her, and you're sharing your whole life with
Yeah,
her,
who am I
You're
to
not
you?
going to treat me
Yeah,
very good.
who am I?
Yeah. So it's you know, people are wild.
People are wild.
People are wild. So going back to the Muslim, Hindu, Judaism, Christianity is for some reason, I don't know why, but when you go to Google it, they say Hinduism is the oldest religion. It is the biggest, but it's not. The oldest is Judaism.
Yeah.
Moses got the first record. He does. He just does.
He just does.
He just does.
First recording of Yahweh, God Almighty, was written by Moses.
You ever had that friend that you were like, boom, I got you. He's like, boom, freeze, I got you. You know, I shot you. And you're playing the games and you're like 8 years old.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like Google took Hinduism and did that. They went, nope, Hindu's been around since before the dinosaurs. And you're like, what? Yeah, Hindu is an ancient, old
I thought we didn't have people.
universe, before the moon hit Earth and started to spin around it. Hinduism was there.
I don't understand.
How do you beat that? Like,
Yeah.
what do you? Okay.
Okay, if you say
And
so.
Google said, yeah, that sounds about right.
If you, you know, we'll see in the end, right?
But I think we all know when Hinduism was birthed.
When? I don't.
Well, do you know what Hindu holds sacred?
No, I don't.
If I were to tell you that the Hindus hold sacred the cow, would you know where it came from?
Somewhere around Mount Sinai.
Sounds about right. Right?
Sinai. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
here we are, spiritual gifts. So here's the point I'm trying to make. And we take this out of the Bible all the time. Josh and I talk about it. Your spiritual gift comes without repentance. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you, Josh?
That means that Beyonce can sing her butt off with the gift that God gave her and then live like hell as much as she wants. And he's not going to take it away from her. He's just hoping that she'll come back to him with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, Beyonce's also married, so she's not living in sin.
Whatever. I can't stand you.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying the gifts come without repentance means even if you use them to do wrong with them, you still have them. Yeah. They're there.
He gave them to you, and they're yours.
And we've seen this in, like, right now. This is a discussion. Russell Brand, he's in recovery.
Yeah.
And he's been all over the place.
He's starting to come into Christianity.
He's a born-again believer
born-again
now.
Christian, yeah. Yeah.
I'm as skeptical with it as I was with Kanye. Let's take it with baby tongs. But, you know, he is professed Christian now, right? I think Liza signed out on us now, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, some people got to do stuff in their lives. It's Saturday.
No, it might just be that we suck at this show and we should pack it up and go.
I mean, no, I don't think that's. I don't think
Nobody cares anymore.
I mean, we haven't been on Saturday in like
2-3 weeks.
It's been a minute. It feels like it's been a long time.
We're gonna keep making this no matter what.
Last time it was at 9:00 at night, or 9:30 or whatever it was. Yeah.
She told us
2 weeks ago.
I hope that she stays with us, but we got to talk about what we have to talk about.
Yeah, certain topics lead in certain directions. It's just the way it goes. I mean, I love anybody who watches, and if there's a topic that we talk about that's not for you, I guarantee you we'll talk about something that is for you.
We spent a long time on dating.
Yeah. So,
So
I mean,
anyway, all right, now
that was random, but yeah, we did.
maybe it was the Beyonce mark. Maybe she likes Beyonce.
Well, I'm just saying that, and Beyonce was just who I used. I mean, so we'll even go to Katy Perry. Katy Perry was given a gift, and she started using it in the church, and then went in an opposite direction. She'll even tell you that she went away. She walked away from the church, and that's not. You can see it in her when they have somebody. I forget what show she's on.
American Idol.
Is it American
I
Idol?
just, yeah, I
I
just saw
forget which
recently
one.
a Christian was on American Idol
when-
sang only Christian songs that they wrote themselves.
And then when they sing, man, you can see it in her face. Like it starts to break her. It starts to break down some of those walls. But I think the hold that the enemy has on her is too strong right now.
Yeah.
And she also likes the fame and the whatever she sold her soul to get. She likes that she has it.
Interesting. Josh, you are just, man,
Sorry,
this is quality. I can't believe no one else is seeing this.
but that's the thing is that you can sell. This
We
may
have,
be
and
this may be
tonight we have talked
controversial.
about this all.
You can sell your soul to the devil to go get famous using the gift that God gave you, and you will keep it.
Amen. It's
And
true.
it's just, it is what it is.
Very true.
He has a purpose for you to use your gift, but you don't walk in your purpose. You don't walk in your purpose. It is what it is. He's not going to force you to walk in your purpose.
So I'm going to bring this back to this. If you have the gift of prophecy,
Mhm.
what do you think it could be used in the wrong way?
Ooh.
The gift of prophecy used in the wrong way. Now,
I mean, you got fortune tellers and all kinds of, Miss Cleo and whatever. And I feel like that's using it in the wrong way. Using tarot cards, using it while worshiping satanic or demonic things,
and then
like
again,
tarot cards and
put negative things. I know that they're just going to end up blank, blank, blank negative.
yeah.
Is a prophetic thing. Teaching, I think we see it all the time, and again in sales rooms and different in gang circles or different
in public schools in America,
absolutely a
In-
gift of teaching being used
in universities in America, being used for not for good. We'll just say not for good. I don't want to say evil, but not for good.
yeah gifts of helps. That's what it says here. Gifts of helps.
helps.
HELPS
Like
helps.
Gifts of helps
Gifts of helps.
used in a negative way.
And used in a negative way. I've seen this so many times in the circles, in recovery circles, where people say, I was very generous. I always did this and I always did that. I
Yeah.
always gave people rides. I always good. I'm glad. I got a little sad, Liza. I was like, oh, I hope your Beyonce comment didn't offend her. But people, drug addicts, they act like they're always helping each other get from point A to point B or move their stuff out if they're getting kicked out.
And dude, with the 13th step, it's you can help. Men will go and the word prey on women newly in recovery, but they'll help them
Yeah,
in the beginning.
Yeah.
They'll use their
help them
gift
get-
of help to woo them in and end up, sleeping with this person and all that, whatever. And so, yeah, I think it can be used in. I mean, it's
a negative way.
Yeah.
Now, this
Manipulation.
This next one is giving.
mercy.
Oh, mercy. The next one I was going to is
It's giving
faith.
mercy.
Okay. I talked to someone this morning, and this kind of how it happened is someone called me this morning and started talking about
No worries, Liza.
all the different stuff that they're into and that they deal with, and they always seem to make money. And it was like what he was saying. It's like I dump a bunch of money into this sin, and so then I turn around and give money to something to try to offset.
Try to offset it.
And I just, the whole time he was talking, I was like, man, you have been blessed with a gift to give.
Yeah.
It's just you keep giving it to these heathen outfits
Yeah.
instead
Instead
of
of giving it
yeah.
to the kingdom.
And
or-
my roommate, man, he's blessed everything he touches.
Yeah.
He can earn, and whenever he wants to give to something, it's blessed, and it's a real the gift of giving is a real gift, but
Yeah.
it can be used for wrong. Gift of faith.
I mean, you see the gift of faith all the time. There are people who have strong, solid faith in the fact that there is no God. I mean,
Good point. Yeah.
I mean, there's faith in astrology, faith in tarot cards, faith in Hinduism, faith in Buddha, faith in Allah. I mean, there's all kinds of faith that is misplaced, and I would say that's better ways. Misplaced faith is the gift. You have the gift of having great faith in things,
Yeah. Amen.
but you have the faith. You put it in things that aren't lasting.
yeah.
And definitely aren't God, but faith in
Healing.
evolution, faith in man-made climate change.
Healing and miracles. Now,
Well, I mean, you see, doctors and
Amen,
nurses,
man,
and
absolutely.
I believe
I
there are
think miracles happen every day in
I
hospitals.
believe there are some that
Every
have
single
the
day.
gift of healing, and whether they use it in good. Because here's the thing: for me, if you're not a Christian, then you're not using your gift for God.
Yeah, that's good.
Is-
Yeah.
I mean, you're just not. I mean, God may be using your gift for Him
Yeah.
in certain instances, but you aren't using your gift to glorify God, to push His kingdom, for your purpose, anything.
Yeah, amen.
But that doesn't mean that you're not in that, emergency room healing people, or in that surgery. That man should have never left that operating table, but somehow he did because of your hands.
Amen. Yeah.
And it's just the gift of healing that I believe that many doctors and surgeons and nurses have. But like I said, are you because what thing is, man, is if these people would come together and under the banner of the Lord, the healing that could take place in this country, in this world is astronomical. It's unfathomable.
I agree.
But a lot of doctors are, I don't want to say atheists, because I think a lot of doctors have seen too much to be atheists, but at the same time, they don't believe in
It's just too much science or something.
yeah,
like
yeah,
It's just
specific.
too much.
Yeah.
So, all of this is to say this. I think we're born with purpose. I think we're born with these gifts to do something for
Yeah.
the kingdom. And I think resentment, I think frustration, I think covetousness, lust, greed, idolatry cause us to get to where we're all mixed up.
Yeah, not doing them for
Being
a
taken
purpose.
advantage of. Yeah. And, so when we start heading out and everything we do is because we're upset that this happened to us or we're comparing our plight to someone else's plight. And, we were talking about this yesterday at church is if you're going to compare yourself to someone else, you got to compare the whole shebang bang.
The whole shebang bang.
You can't sit at a traffic light and look over at someone's car and say, man, I wish I had a better car. Not knowing anything about when they started working on their
Yeah.
business, how much education
Yeah,
they
exactly.
have, what struggles
What their
they
walk
went
is,
through.
any
You,
of that,
you don't
yeah.
know anything about them. If you have 7 children and you're barely making your minivan payment,
Yeah.
and you look over at this guy and he's got a paid off 911, what if he can't? What if no woman ever loved him?
Or he just can't have kids.
Yeah, what if
Yeah.
you don't know. You are rich with 7 children.
Yeah. And he
Filthy
is
rich.
And he is could be very poor in his
Relationships.
in love and stuff like that.
He
And
might,
so,
he
yeah.
might work 90 hours a week and not have a friend in sight.
And it's little things
Who
like
does
this.
a friend that loves him for him and not for
What he has,
What he's
and
yeah, yeah,
what he can
yeah.
get from.
I mean, gosh.
It's things like that get I firmly believe that the enemy can see our gifts. I firmly believe that as we get older, our gifts start to show pretty early, and the enemy can see them and knows where to come in at us and give us that. Especially so if you have a gift and it starts to make you money, but you're not in the king, or maybe you are in the kingdom, but it starts to make you money, and it makes you, the enemy starts to come in and be like, well, if you did it this way, then maybe you could make more money. And so let's say one time you do it that way.
Here's an example. You and I decided to put together a show, and if Liza's our only viewer, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
But then we start to have success, and I look at you and go, I could do this way better if he wasn't here.
Yeah.
I think
you
the
start
enemy
to-
comes in and does that. Like,
Yeah.
I think the enemy has done this
Yeah.
to many a Christian
Yeah,
artist,
exactly.
many
Yeah,
a Christian
yeah.
churches. Obviously, Episcopalian, Methodist. You have all these denominations
Yeah,
for a reason.
we could do
right?
it better
Are
if
you
we-
baptized by Apollos? Or are you baptized?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. That's exactly how the denominations grew. Was I think the enemy broke it up and said, "Well, why don't you, you just go do this way?" And because without unity in the church, he gains ground in the world,
Yeah.
and that's all he wants.
Man, he
knows he loses.
So-
he just wants to wreak as much havoc as he can.
Did I tell the story about the kids trolling me and Isaac and I at the this
Isaac and
weekend?
me, but yeah.
Isaac and me at the thing. Oh my gosh,
Trolling.
So I have this firm belief that confession is healthy. That when I walk into your presence and gather with you in the name of Christ, in
Yeah.
fellowship of Christ, church, so to speak, what we do here on the show or whatever, and I say to you, Josh, man, I really like my secretary, and I'm thinking about cheating on my wife with my secretary, that I've released something that if I just kept it in me and never said it to you,
Yeah.
it turned into a...
Well, the enemy's got it. Then the only people that know it are you, God, and the enemy. And so, because he put it there. So then he has room to work. When he knows that you're hiding things, he knows that he can keep working. And if he makes it big enough, you're going to keep hiding it because now you're embarrassed from it. Or now you feel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Isaac and I are sharing a bedroom, and one of these people at this church and on this function keep going and putting things in our room to troll us, to prank us, to mess with us.
Like?
Underwears and socks and towels.
Okay.
Now, this is from I'm going to tell you from my picture of it, and then I'm going to tell you what Isaac said at the end, okay? So we got there on Thursday. Friday afternoon, I come into the room, and there is a dirty sock sitting on the TV stand. And
In your bedroom?
Yep, and I look at this sock, and I think, man, Isaac is weird. Like, why would he put a sock on the TV stand?
Yeah.
And I didn't move it, and I didn't I didn't say to him.
And so he came in and I was like, wow, Brent's weird.
So he
Why
came
would
into
he-
the bedroom, and he saw it and said, my man Brent is dirty. And went on, and no one said anything. So then same day, I come in a little bit later, and there's some swimming shorts or underwears or something on my bed. So then I was like, okay, dirty sock on the TV stand, I don't really care that much about, but why you put your stuff
My bed.
on my bed? So I picked them up and put them on his bed. There was also little things going on with the charger wires and stuff, just getting moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Don't know, still what that was.
Somebody's having some fun.
So I get out of the shower, I come in, and there's a towel like hanging where you hang shirts and stuff. And I'm like, why would he put that there?
Yeah.
And I turn and look, and the underwears are sitting on my bag kind of under my bed. And I'm like, what the heck? So I pick them up and throw them on his little bedside table. Just whatever. This goes on all weekend. Towels, dirty socks, underwears. Now, I think at some point the underwears we started doing.
Because
Now
you're just like, screw it. I'm going to throw my underwear over there too.
So we're packing up last day. We're getting all our things out. And as we start to get our things fully packed, there's towels and socks and underwears sitting around the room. Because they don't belong to me.
They don't belong to him.
And they don't belong to him. And I realized if the first time I saw the sock, I had to said something to him, we would have denied. This whole thing would have stopped.
Yep.
Both of us never said a thing about it. And whoever was doing this
Had a blast.
Had a blast.
Did you ever find out who it was?
No, nobody ever confessed to it.
Nobody would.
But there was stuff all over the place. It was crazy. And he was mad. He was like, "Bro, you put those shorts in the most disrespectful places." And I'm like, "Dude, you put those shorts in the most disrespectful places."
Because he was doing the same to you when
He was just
finding
putting
out-
them back. Yeah, he just,
That's messed up. That's
so,
funny,
but
though.
and I think
Somebody got y'all. Somebody
Satan
got
gets
y'all.
away with the same kind of behavior.
Yeah.
He trolls you a little bit. You don't tell anyone that you're feeling this way. You're thinking
Yeah.
this way. Oh, Liza doesn't like us, or oh, this group isn't really accepting me, or oh, they're talking bad about me behind my back, and it festers and it causes retaliation.
Yeah.
It bounces back and forth. It turns into something bigger. When really, if I just walk up to you and say, "Hey, man,
Are you talking about me?
do you guys accept me? Am I part of this?"
Somebody
group?
said something, and I was just wanted to bring it to you.
Yeah, Liza, did we say something wrong, or did you log off because you took a phone call, or
Yeah, if you bring it up,
If Christians will communicate with each other, if you communicate with each
Yeah,
other in
you can-
recovery,
you can nip a lot
if
of this
you're
stuff in the
honest
bud,
about being a man who wants to be a woman.
she says, but she does like us.
Yeah, I do, and I love you too. If you're honest about your stuff,
Yeah.
bam, bam.
It's
Shebang,
real.
bang.
It's quick and easy. You get it out, but both parties have to be honest. Because if I come to you and say, "Hey, man, was there something going on that you've been acting like some type of way,"
And I just say no,
and you're like, "No, everything's fine,"
but I'm really
but it's
bothered.
not really fine,
Yeah.
then we continue this cycle. So everybody has to be equally as honest with each other in the whole thing.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, we started off with being honest in recovery, being honest with yourselves. We talked a little bit about some changes that have happened in AA and recovery rooms with this specific thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this again real quick. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. I'm sorry. I'm going to read this real quick. There it is. The original writing for a preamble for the Alcoholics Anonymous group is Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other. But they've rewritten it to
people.
Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people. We found it very interesting that they put that there, and then at the end they say AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, institution, does not wish to engage in controversy, neither endorse nor oppose any causes. However, they are now
Endorsing or at least affirming
They're affirming
causes.
a cause. And we took it kind of into a place of, look, it's hard to recover if you're not honest with yourself.
Well, so it's easy when to defend AA, when somebody poses something as a civil rights issue, what are they going to do? They have to bend the knee. They have to. It's civil rights. If they don't, you're denying someone their civil
been
rights.
here this whole time. AA's never dealt with other civil rights issues. You don't think?
I don't.
This is their first one.
Well, here's the thing: is
What a crafty way.
I would like to look back. I'd like to look back to A and see some of it.
Is your sexuality really civil rights?
No, but it's how they have posed it so that they can get into these things, these places where, like, AA doesn't have anything to do with any political affiliation or anything like that. But when you say it's civil rights, now nobody wants to be the one denying someone their civil rights. So
here's how it starts. The reason, now this is it, and Liza, I completely agree. Shout at the devil means to tell on him to each other, confess what the Lord has done for you in his face, and he will flee. Now, Civil Rights Act was banning an unemployment discrimination based on national origin, religion, race, and sex.
and sex.
Now, I think the religion one is similar to sexual because you don't really know people's religion.
No, they
do you?
just look. They take the
Hold on.
sex.
I'll take you in a second.
They take the sex part of
I'll
that.
tell you in a second what it says. It says it right here.
Okay.
Okay. Stop with that, and let's talk
My
about
bad.
religion.
I was gonna give you my opinion. You guys,
I
you
saw
gotta
it.
listen.
You jumped the gum all the time on this.
But you lead me in a certain direction. So
Yeah, I know. Do you see what I'm talking about with religion now? How could I'm a Christian and you fire me? Is that for playing Christian music?
yeah, like how would you know I'm a Christian? I mean, you should know I'm a Christian.
Because I
Why?
was praying. Maybe I was praying on the
Well, all I know is and
I think people should be allowed to say
my pastor says it all the time. Is
Don't
that
pray
do
during-
the people at your work? Do the people at your work know you're a Christian? Because
That's
if
what I'm
people,
saying.
the people at your work don't know you're a Christian, then are you really?
people at work might know
living
you're
this?
Jewish if you wear a yarmulke.
Yeah,
If you wear a head thing, they might know you're Muslim, I guess.
yeah. But if you're a Christian, I mean, unless you're walking around with a cross, but people walk around with crosses all the time.
Now, it says the Supreme Court ruled when it comes to sex, employment protections apply to LGBTQ individuals as well.
Okay.
Well. But sex meant male and female,
But the thing is that, yeah, okay, you
but not
can't-
who you're having sex
You
with.
can't. Well, I don't think you should be able to discriminate against hiring somebody.
Because they were originally born a man,
But-
but they
If we're talking about men and women, so in the AA preamble where it says we are a fellowship of men and women. If there's still only two, whether you're a man who now identifies as a female, or a man who identifies as a man, or a female who now identifies as a male, whatever, we're still only talking about two, right? It's still
Yeah.
male and female, whether it's transgender male or transgender female or just male and female. We're still talking about male and female. So why can't we just say man and woman? Why can't we just leave that alone?
I don't know. And this really gets them going. The family afterward are women folk.
Yeah, they hate that one.
Oh my gosh! Look! He's having
He's having dreams over there.
dreams. Look
You
at
think
his
you should-
tail,
What if you vibrated him real quick?
dude.
Would it freak
You
him out?
think in his dream he sees me? He's like so happy I just got home.
Yeah, that's what that is, right?
Look at his tail going. He's like, oh, he's like, Papa, hold me, Dad. I'm so glad you're home. I've been in the crate all day.
No, he's out running in a field chasing sheep right
Butterfly, dog and butterfly. Have you ever heard that song?
now.
I'm
No,
gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you that song now.
we just went squirrel,
My dog is having dreams, and I've always wondered
moose, and squirrel.
what could they be dreaming about. Dude, he is out. Look at that.
Yeah, if
I'm
he
almost
starts,
worried about
if
him.
he starts whimpering, that means you're beating him.
That's not me. He's not dreaming about me. Then he's dreaming about Jordan,
Jordan's beating him. Stop it.
beating him senseless.
Anyways, sorry. That was
Um,
a little side note. That's his bad.
it is my bad. So anyway, that's our show. Our show was on that.
It was on that.
It was on gifts. Using them for
You're
gifts.
like Pastor Miles. Pastor Miles goes, he'll be like mid sentence, he'll finish saying something, it'll be like, I think I'm done. There's no landing the plane. There's no nothing. He's just like, I think I'm done. Who's taking this mic next? And Kendall will come up and close
Kendall,
it out.
yeah.
It's great. I love it. It's the perfect way to land a plane. It's just drop the plane out of the sky. Just, we have landed.
And that's that.
And that's that. All right. Do you want to play the outro?
What do you got? You got nothing?
Good, man. I think we're
Who's viewing right now? We got 4 viewers. We got
Liza, we got Jeff Georges,
Jeff and I had a
me,
wonderful day today.
and I don't know who else. Maybe Emily's on, but I think she's napping, so probably not
We
her.
drove into this neighborhood, and it's 100 degrees outside, and every house is on a hill. And it was a newer
good day.
neighborhood, but it's something weird about this, Josh. Every time I do it, every time we do it, you have this pushback, you have this feeling that it's not going to work out, or it's going to be too hard.
I'm gonna
or no
walk
one's
up this
home.
hill and
I think
nobody's
Jeff
gonna
said that.
answer.
He said, "Oh yeah, everybody's going to be gone. It's July 4th weekend," and then. The second door you knock, you're praying for someone. You're praying for their 16-year-old. You're praying for.
Come on.
It's just the most wonderful thing, and
Yeah.
it fills me up. It makes me so happy. We got to see a few things today. Yes, Liza. Yes. That's all I can say here. All I can say is yes. I have nothing else to say.
Oh, I love it that you're getting hit from all sides.
But this is when it is in the past, it's going to be in the past, and I'm going to be so grateful that we got over this hump. This is very challenging. Liza, if you and I could ever have a personal conversation, I would love to like talk about this because some cool stuff has happened this week.
With that,
Yeah, just
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
cool stuff has happened this week.
well, good. You're just gonna leave it
I
at
just
that.
can't. I mean, I'm on live TV.
Yeah.
It was Jeff. It was really awesome. I had a young lady challenged. You know, one thing we noticed that was weird, and Dan brought this up. He said in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 13, it says that we're not separate. If you want to look that up, basically Dan was saying we're not a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
We're
There's no longer. Is that the one?
yeah, no,
no
it
longer
was something
Hebrew,
about
no?
being baptized, but
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me. But he says that to me, and we're talking about it, and then we knock on the first door or one of the doors, and we're talking to this woman about our church and the functions we have, and inviting her and praying for her and her family. And then I just thought to say, and I do sometimes, are you Christian? It comes sometimes with their body language and the way they're responding
Yeah.
to the conversation. At some point I'll say, are you a Christian? Because of the way they're acting.
Yeah.
And this woman says, no, I'm Catholic.
That's so weird.
So we prayed with her. We finished it out, and then Dan and I started walking. I said, Dan, why would they say that?
Yeah.
Why would a Catholic separate themselves
From the body
from
of
a
Christ.
Christian?
Yeah.
And the second door we knock, this woman comes out. We're talking to her. She seems to be just completely bored by everything that's being said. So I stop and say, are you a Christian? She says, no, I'm Catholic. 2 back to back, especially right in the. And again, I told Dan as we left that one, because I'm starting to get ready for stuff.
Yeah.
Right? From doing this now, if atheists, agnostic, people that believe in other religions, people that think, oh, why is it Christ the only way? All this stuff, I'm starting to get ready for all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not ready for that.
Because you thought it was the same. Well,
I
at
said
least.
it to the second woman. I was like, it's the same, right?
And what did she
And
say?
she was like, I don't know. I don't go to church or anything, I'm saying. And I was like, okay. And we just.
That's what. So the thing about Catholics is Catholics. If you're a Catholic out there watching, I'm not trying to dog on you. This is what I've kind of noticed is I see more non-practicing Catholics than I see anything else. They say I'm a non-practicing Catholic because the way they view it is at any time they can walk back into church, go sit in the confessional, confess to that priest, and they are right back in, totally good to go, can go right back out and live their life the way they've been living it the past 5 years.
Wow.
And that's the view that Catholics have. And that is why it's very dangerous to just that a man can sit there and tell you what you need to do to gain your repentance. You know what I'm saying? To atone for your sins.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But it is what it is. They have
it
a
was-
priest, and they don't understand that we already have a high priest. And so they think
So
that he's the one.
if you don't follow, my Saturdays basically look like corporate prayer at 9. The first Saturday of every month, we go and do hands and feet, which is
This
we
is
go out into the
outreach.
community, we
Outreach
pray
ministry.
for people, and invite them to fellowship, et cetera, et cetera. Sundays, I go to church Sunday mornings. Josh goes on. You have prayer tonight.
I have prayer tonight at 8:00, and then we have usually we have a 9 and 11 service, but this on Sundays mornings. But this month we're doing only a 10:00 service.
the whole month.
The whole month.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be last
Probably because
week.
it's summertime. You think?
Yeah, and so it probably they're probably assuming that the both services would be a little light, so why not just merge them all together? They say is because they wanted to. God told him he wanted to bring everyone together at once. I don't doubt my pastor when he says God told me. So yeah, and then we have Wednesday night services every other Wednesday, and we have Monday morning prayer first Monday of every month for men.
Really cool thing I called Josh about and almost forgot to tell you guys because I called Josh about it already. And then I'm going to read what Jeff says about this. My my dad called me and said that he watched a sermon I preached
come
and
on.
was convicted and walked away from something that he had in his life because of now. And if you know anything about me, I grew up. He was in prison most of my life, and
Yeah,
then
you
we had
didn't
a
really
rough
know him, yeah.
at all, and we had a rough
How
relationship.
so how long has it been now that you've had a renewed relationship with your father?
3 years maybe.
So not long.
Not long at all.
In the
I
grand
mean-
scheme of your 45 years on the planet. Sorry, I had to do that. But
Yeah, I'm 45 years old. I'm 18 years sober. He is celebrating his 25th year sober.
really?
And we had just started a relationship about 3 or 4 years ago.
Huh, that's crazy. So he was sober before you even
Got sober.
before you got sober. So
yeah.
he was
I remember the last time my dad got high. He had a horrible episode. It was very, very bad. It was some of his old friends, and I think one of them passed away or something. But it was a very rough weekend,
yeah.
and that was the last time. It was about 25 years ago.
But you didn't know him at this time, or
Well, okay, so
like at all? Look, I know you said just
I
the
know
past
his
3 years of a
family.
relationship.
I know
but-
his family, right?
Okay.
So, before we get into what Jeff just said, you know how your relationship with your ex-wife is?
Yes.
You know the guy that she went to Maryland to live with. You know who he is.
yeah.
You know what he looked like if you saw him. You
May-
kind of
maybe
know
not
her
now, but
ex-boyfriend. You don't know the guy that she was currently dating. You know, it's like that.
Okay.
I know things about my dad, even though I didn't really know my dad. So my dad's had twin sisters. One passed away, maybe 2012,
Okay.
from a DUI accident. Someone had hit her head on who was drunk and killed her. They all,
Kudos to your dad for not falling off when that happened.
yeah, totally. But he was not. He didn't have much of a relationship with that side of the family. So there's a picture of me with my wife and my children and my dad. In that photo, my aunt is still alive.
Okay.
So it's in Eden's lifetime. Eden's 16. She's in that photo. I got to see him then. But what he said to me at that dinner was that I had 2 more years. He prophesied I was going to prison. He prophesied that in 2 years from that dinner, I was going to go to prison.
Because you were still.
No, I was clean. I've never been high during Eden's life.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I know
And
that.
he was clean.
So he just.
I don't know why he said it. I don't know why he said it. It was
So within those
it's
2
how
years.
he's been my whole life.
Within
He's
those
been hard to talk to my whole
Within
life.
those 2 years, was there anything that happened that could have potentially?
Yeah, I got divorced.
But I'm saying, but could have potentially sent you to prison. Like,
Well, I could have lost it during the divorce, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously, Josh. I mean, you were
Okay.
there when I got separated. You were there through my divorce.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
hard. I managed to do it without getting high, but it was not
yeah.
easy. I did,
Yeah.
I jumped from job to job during that season. I lived with my mom during that season. I was accused of a lot of weird things from my ex-wife during that season. I mean, that season was rough.
Yeah, it was a rough season.
It was a rough season for me. So just saying all that anyway, over the last 3 or 4 years, we've built a real relationship
Yeah, where you actually talk.
where we're actually talking. I actually know him and his wife. They've met Jordan. Like we're actually, it was nice to hear that yesterday.
Family adjacent.
Adjacent.
Yeah.
Then my brother called me this week. He watched one of our shows.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
And, so it's been really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff.
God's on the move.
God is on the move.
On the move.
So,
Hallelujah.
and I talked to Jeff about this morning and a couple other guys. That spiritually, we're winning big. God is winning big.
Yeah, all
spiritually.
over.
I mean, Trump's little court case with the Supreme Court and all this stuff. Like he's gonna be able to just kind of go through this election now.
Yeah.
With this stuff and
Yeah,
behind.
I mean,
in his rearview mirror.
even if you want to go back as far, like the Roe v. Wade overturning,
Yeah,
which you
God's
don't
winning big.
which you didn't see. My pastor talks about it all the time. Like it was almost crickets across the Christian landscape when that happened. As far as pastors go, like nobody wanted to comment on it or anything. It was a huge win for Christian values in this country.
A lot of these pastors who are like Miles, and people call them a lot of names, they did though. There's
Yeah.
a lot of men and women out there that was like, we prophesied this 2
But
years
even
ago.
even Pastor Miles was like, there was some people that he thought were gonna say something because
And they didn't.
and they didn't, and it made him kind of like separate himself from them a little bit more than he, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's just like you were saying, God is winning all over the place.
All over the
That's
place.
not to say that the enemy isn't having some victories here.
That's
and
what I
there.
was going to say. In the world, some things are really hard for all of us.
Yeah, they're getting bad.
Really hard
Yeah.
for a lot of people. Economically, really hard. People are being displaced. They're having to move. They can't pay their mortgages. They can't pay the rent. They're having to switch up how they drive or how they do things because they can't afford the lifestyle they had. So, I mean, a lot of things are happening
But I
to
guess
Christians in the world.
That's the way it's gonna be, right? So in the spirit, God is always going to be winning. But in the world, up until the time of the return, the enemy is always going to be winning. It's just kind of the natural progression of it until Christ returns.
Yeah.
And just the final victory, done. Like this is over.
Yeah.
But anyways, did you want to touch on Jeff's
So
comment?
Jeff says, my understanding is that Catholics have to go through a refresher course if they've been inactive for a period of time. What do you think about that? What do you think about someone comes into your church?
I
they
wanna
serve,
know what
you
this-
got them up on the worship team. You
I
got
want
'em
to
on
know
the
what this
prayer
refresher
team,
course is.
and then they leave.
I want to know what
3
this
hours.
refresher course
And then
is.
they come back.
I mean, leave for 3 hours. I mean, like
3 years.
Oh, I thought you
And
said
they come
hours. I'm
back
like,
to
that's...
your- yeah, I mean, what would you do if someone come back to your church?
We accept them with open arms.
No refresher course?
No course. We.
I wonder what a refresher course looks
That's
like.
what I said.
Jeff.
Like, what is a refresher course?
Well, I mean,
Sounds-
with it, you have a lot of things that you have to do.
Sounds
as
like
Catholics, right? You have
sounds like a
lot of
re-education,
penance to pay.
like a re-education camp or something. I don't know what it means. Yeah. So there's a lot of like when you go like when you go sit next to when you go sit in the confessional and the priest tells you, you confess your sins to your priest, he judges the weight of those sins that you confessed and then gives you the amount of atonement that you need to do, whether it's, say 5 Hail Marys and 6 Our Fathers and give, give to the poor, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that is what your penance is for your atonement. And I don't see how that's, I don't know where that's in the Bible. I mean, maybe in the Old Testament, maybe you could piece some things together in the Old Testament to make that, but in the New Testament, I don't see where that comes from at all. But it's just me.
I think we can find it. I think we can, if we really want to check this out. Let's make it a thing for Antioch Speaks.
Okay.
We'll search out the Catholic belief system and where biblically we'll Berean it. We'll do
Berean
a
it?
on the.
I think Constantine and then the whole like Roman Catholic and then English Catholic thing has a lot more to do with control. And so they instituted a lot of these things are religious things that have been instituted that have nothing to do with the Bible, in my opinion. I think that, I mean,
Interestingly,
I think we will find that the Bible will bear that out, what I just said. But we'll see. We're going to check it out. See us on Tuesday, and we will report on it.
Are we closing?
I guess you said it like 10 minutes ago.
I know. It's time to go, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube.
on
now.
YouTube, yeah.
Share it. Tell people.
We're still
got
got to figure out this live on Instagram thing, but
It's weird. I don't know how to get the screen.
it does
I
this
don't
weird
know
thing
how to
where
do it.
it's like this is all you see is this right here, and I don't understand why.
And then the other
think Britt's gonna take a nap. I
I'm
don't know.
so tired, man. It's weird. I don't know why. It's not like I do anything.
Yeah, that's the enemy.
Good point. I could probably play like
Spirit of-
video games if I
Spirit of slumber right there.
want. Yeah, just being slothful.
All right,
All right.
love y'all. Run that outro.
I see the enemy fall back, as you show your face, Lord. Hear our voices call back, call back. This is a call to war, Lord. We will not fail, we will prevail. This is our destiny. So light the morning with your glory, claim your victory. This is a call to battle. This is a call to battle. Blow the trumpet, shout in Zion. Gotta rise up,